We were talking earlier, and this person said, "Yeah, well, if only I had Bravo, it'd be easy." And I'm like, "Okay, man, yeah." So you're wanting to skip everything and go from where you're at to where we're at without going through the grind, because these people don't understand, everything that it takes. And I don't want to make it sound like it's impossible. It's not impossible, because if we can do it,
it's 100% possible. You just have to know that there's going to be hard work, a lot of hard work, and it's when you don't want to pay that price.
Exactly.
There's a price to pay for anything that you want to do in life.
Yeah.
Are you willing to pay the price?
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember, we were talking earlier, and this person said, "Yeah, well, if only I had Bravo, it'd be easy." And I'm like, "Okay, man, yeah." So you're wanting to skip everything and go from where you're at to where we're at without going through the grind. It's literally a grind. The beat up process of running a business. I'll listen to podcasts on people that run businesses, even in our industry, and they talk about this. And yeah, it's tough. It's not an easy thing, not just in our industry, but just business in general. It's it can beat you up. I mean, the market can, I've said it before, it'll chew you up and spit you out before you even know what hit you. And so it's because of that I have very little I am sympathetic to people's dilemmas. I have empathy, yes, but I'm very careful in handing out empathy when that person just keeps doing the same thing over and over. I heard somebody say, if you make a mistake, or what was the saying? I heard somebody say, a mistake is something that you make, right? And everybody makes mistakes. But if you keep making the same mistake over and over, that's just a choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's people that just continue to choose the wrong end of the stick, right? The wrong side of the situation. They keep taking the wrong road. There's a fork on the road, and that road leads to that, and they just keep doing it because they think, well, maybe if I just drive a little bit slower, or no, it's not that. It's just that road leads to that. It doesn't matter what you're driving. It doesn't matter if you go slower. It doesn't matter if you go faster. That road leads to nothing. It's a dead end, right? And so, you have to understand and be willing to understand certain situations, and be willing to just take it and put it into play, and understand, look, that's not for us.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are emotionally involved. There's the mind, and then there's the heart. And even the Bible tells us that the heart can be deceiving, right? Because you want something so bad, like, this is what I want, this is what I want. And you get to this point where now you're very emotional. It makes you very you start getting this pride that just comes over you, and you're just so centered and self-focused that you forget about everything else around you. And it's just a straight shot into nothing. And I don't know if this is all making sense, because I'm trying to be all philosophical or whatever it is, but it's at the end of the day, I think it just comes down to nothing that I see is given to you. Nothing that people have gained and that have built was probably not given to them. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of effort. And I respect people that run businesses now more than ever, and to the point where it's a totally different world, and it's something that you won't know or understand until you just dive into it.
Yeah.
I really believe that. You got to have that. You got to have that. You have to go out there and do it. You got to get your hands dirty, and then you'll really understand, what it takes.
Yeah. A lot of discipline.
A lot of discipline, and But yeah, there's delusion out there, and there's people that think that it's easy. And look, and it's not. I'm not upset at these people, but it's almost like you want to help them and say, no, man, that mentality needs to stop. I don't know where you got that from, where you think that just because that guy owns 5 convenience stores that it's easy because he had the magic ingredient, or he understood he had this equation that nobody had. Like, no, it's nothing's changed. Your profits are your profit. Your profit margins are your profit margins. Your cost of goods are your cost of goods. Just because you live in Indiana and I live in Texas, your cost of goods is going to be different than mine. Well, yeah, there is that, right? Obviously, because it just depends what you're building and all that. But cost of goods is cost of goods. The math is the math, and formulas don't change just because you're white or black or brown or what, or because you're a woman or you're a man, or nothing changes. I mean, and I love that, because it really is a level playing field out there.